guys, welcome back to Freestyle Moda. For today's video, I'm doing something that I've been meaning to do for quite a while now. Ever since I started watching Finding Your Roots back in 2009, I've always been very curious about my roots. So, as you guys know, I consider myself Cuban, Portuguese, and Angolan. However, I don't really know where my ethnicity really comes from, and I wanted to confirm whether what I know is really true. So I haven't taken a look at my DNA test results yet, so let's do this together to find out where I'm from. Oh my god. The first thing I noticed, I don't know why, but it's telling me that I have 257 DNA relatives. That's crazy. Alright, so let's see what my ancestral composition is about. Ha 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 ha. So, as you guys can see, I am 80.9% West African. Whoa, what a shocker. No, not really. Of course I knew that because as I told you guys before, my dad is Angolan. I wonder if I could go and see what countries it is. Well, it tells me here, like I know this is Nigeria, Senegal. It also says that I'm 3.3% African hunter-gatherer. That's interesting. I've never heard, well, I've heard of that term, but I never really thought about that. So it says that African hunter-gatherers are, genetically speaking, African hunter-gatherer populations, including the Pygmy and Khoisan peoples of Central and Southern Africa, represent some of the oldest and most distinct branches in the human family tree. Wow, that's awesome. Ooh, there you go. So it's Namibia, Botswana, and South Africa. Yay! So it actually confirms something that my dad did tell me. My dad told me that some of our relatives are from South Africa, so I do see it here, so he was right about that. They speak indigenous languages characterized by click consonants rarely found in other language families. I do see how this has affected me because I've always been very fond of learning new languages, and to find out that my ancestors had one of the most unique and oldest linguistics in the world, that makes me really proud and confirms what I already knew about myself. It also says that I'm 0.1% East African. Eastern Africa spans from Sudan in the north to Kenya and Tanzania in the south, and harbors incredibly linguistic, cultural, and genetic diversity. So once again, more linguistics diversity. And here's something that also caught my attention that it says here at the end. The region known as the Horn of Africa has a rich history of genetic and cultural exchange with the Arabian Peninsula. So hey, maybe I have some Arabian relatives. Broadly sub-Saharan, I also have that as 1.4%. So it says the genetic diversity of sub-Saharan Africa reflects both the deep history of human in the region and the recent migrations that have carried from people Western Africa to both Southern and Eastern Africa. This is telling me that this region came into contact a lot with the Arabian Peninsula. That gives me a feeling that I might have some Arabic in there. To summarize that, I'm 85.7% sub-Saharan African, and now it's telling me about my European side, which I already knew I had. So, as you can see here, the first thing that it says is that I'm 2.8% Iberian. And the Iberian Peninsula is where Portugal is. So Portugal and Spain form the Iberian Peninsula, and it's saying here that I have 2.8% out of that ethnicity. So yes, I am Portuguese, you guys. Oh, but here's other interesting things actually. It's telling me that I am as well 2.4% British and Irish. I got the Irish card? I can wear those Irish shirts saying I'm some percentage Irish. That's so cool. Well, I suspect the British came from, you know, the whole trade, because, you know, the British, they brought lots of slaves to the Caribbean and North America, so I suspect that's where it came from. Let's read a little bit of the Iberian part. So it says, and was influenced by several Mediterranean civilizations, including 800 years of Arabic North African rule. Now, a small North African generic signature is present in the Iberian DNA. Oh my god, you guys, there it is! So I was saying that perhaps I have something of some Arabic in me. So there it is. So it seems like people that have this Iberian percentage, they also have some Arabic present in their DNA. And it says that over 8% of Spanish words carry Arabic origins. Yes, this is that I already knew. In fact, Arabic sounds very similar to Spanish. If you listen to it and you know Spanish, you can figure out what some word means. Oh wow. So actually, let's go back. Let's backtrack a little bit. I'm getting so excited reading these things and talking to you guys that it's like crazy. All right. They predict that my ancestors lived in Spain within the last 200 years. So there's something else that I am very surprised, but at the same time, I suspected it. Okay, well, let me tell you guys. So it's saying that I'm also 1.1% Italian. Oh, I do love Italian food, and when I went to Italy for the first time as a teenager, I fell in love with the country. We went to 2 countries. We went to Italy and France, and I really fell in love with Italy more than France. So maybe when I went there, like, my body told me that I belonged. So other Italians share a rich genetic legacy with Greece. Ooh. Do I have some Greek in there too? Let me see. Let me keep on reading. So if I go down now, I also have broadly Northwestern European, and that is actually higher than the Italian side. It says that I'm 2.3% broadly Northwestern European, and it says that this is represented by the people far west as Ireland, as far north as Norway, and as far east as Finland. Oh my god, I have a Finnish friend. He's gonna be excited when I let him know that we might be related somehow. So it says broadly Northwestern European DNA matches several specific populations and is difficult to assign to just one. Back in the day, they used to travel a lot, so I suspect that they can't pinpoint where exactly my ancestors from that area are because of all those nautical travels they used to do, like the bike. So my camera died while I was talking about my European side. It was about my broadly European side. Well, basically the broadly European side is not very specific because they haven't pinpointed exactly where in Europe this side of my family came from. So it says for this one is 1.6%, and as you guys can see, it also applies for some of my African side. So it's just that probably they haven't gotten enough DNAs from these different regions to actually pinpoint exactly where this little piece of DNA they found is from. Let's see. So it says that I have East Asian and Native American in me. You know, I always heard from the Finding Your Roots show that many African Americans claim that they have Native American roots, but most of them are wrong about that, and it's a myth because it's just an idea that was passed down from generations, but it was something to dissociate themselves from usually like the white or European ancestry they might have, because you know of all the prejudice that they had to deal with in order to obtain that European ancestry. I never suspected that I had Native American in me. So I was actually different from the myth. I actually did not believe that I had Native American in me. So it's actually quite a surprise to see here that I am 0.8% Native American. And then let's look at the 0.8% Native American. The first humans to reach the New World populated much of North, Central, and South America within just 1,000 years following their arrival from Northeast Asia. So I'm suspecting that's probably from my Caribbean roots, because you know South America is a very diverse continent, so I'm sure one of my relatives from this region had some Native American roots, so that's probably where the 0.8% comes from. Now the 0.1 is what I'm also more surprised about. It says here that it's the peoples of East Asia and the Americas have shared a generic history. So it seems like from 50,000 years ago, someone in my family was a relative from East Asia that somehow migrated to Latin America or the Americas, and that's why there's a mix of broadly East Asian and Native American in that 0.1%. Well, that's pretty awesome. I'm happy about that because I really love many parts of Asia. It's one of the continents that I've been meaning to travel to for a long time now. And my first country to visit there was South Korea, and then I did Thailand, and I really enjoyed that region and enjoyed the culture there. And I've always been a fan of Japanese and Korean dramas, so hey, I guess maybe that 0.1% has something to do with it. And then it says Western Asian and North African. I have 0.4% of that. The reason why I think that they differentiate this West African from the regular or from the Sub-Saharan African, is that what they call it? Yeah, Sub-Saharan African, is because this 0.4% must be like Egypt, which I'm suspecting. Yes! And you know how I knew about this one? It was a long time ago, but like I came across this this photo that you're gonna see right here on Facebook not long ago that said if you have this shape of feet, then you probably have some Egyptian or Arabic or North African in your ancestry, because apparently that shape of the foot is very typical of Egyptians. So I was not surprised about this. So I can officially say that I have a bit of everything. I have a bit from every continent in the world. Well, actually no, I missed Australia, you guys. So I have a bit for almost every continent in the world. And I'm very happy about that. I'm especially excited and very proud of having a bit of almost every part of Africa, because as you guys can see, the northern side is colored, and then here West Africa is colored, and then you see the hunter-gatherers, which is the Central and South Africa, and lastly the East and Sub-Saharan. So I'm pretty much from all over Africa. I'm very happy, very proud and happy with my African roots, and I'm very proud to be 85.7% African. And you know, the European, also happy about that, because your ancestors make up who you are. So no matter how that DNA got in there, it's what makes you unique. So I'm excited about that too. I'm actually excited about all the percentages I got, and I'm very shocked that I'm actually from almost every continent, and I'm really glad that I took this test. Shout out to hubby for getting this DNA test for me. It's actually a present for my 25th birthday. I've been bragging to him or telling him or pestering him into getting this thing for me, and he did so for my 25th birthday, and I'm really happy about that and really grateful about that. So I can't wait to explore furthermore about my ancestry. My goal is to eventually travel to most of these continents and find out more about the cultures there. I haven't been to Africa yet, which is a shame, but I will go because I at least have a place to stay there. In Angola, I have lots of relatives that I can crash on. So yeah, I'm really excited to find out more about my ancestry in the near future. But for now, I'm happy to say that I am a broad individual. If you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you found it as interesting as I did. And if you guys have any questions, or if you guys want to find out more about 23andMe, then go ahead and look in the description box, because I'll link the 23andMe website. So in case you guys want to do this test as well, you can go ahead and do that and find out more for yourself. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Mwah! I see here something that is very eye-opening. So if you guys read here, it says North African and Arabian, and that goes back to 6, 7, and 8 generations. So hey, I might be related to Queen Nefertiti, you guys.